Hi everybody, this is Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I am here with a fun new series called Refresh. And the point of this series is to take an old layout that I've done that I'm not really in love with and I don't really enjoy looking at in my albums and do a facelift to them or just completely re-scrap them. So at the moment you're just seeing me go through which ones that I know I want to get done, and then I pick one out, and I end up picking out the one about the house I grew up in when I was really little. I've already re-scrapped this layout. What you're seeing right now is this is my re-scrap of it already. Still wasn't happy with the way it looked, so I'm now re-scrapping it. And what you're seeing me do is just take off the photos off of the layout, and then I save a few embellishments, but most of it not so much. I'm just going to throw the entire layout away minus the photos, of course. So you know what, I'm okay with that. I had used the fronts, as you see it flipped, that was my first take on the layout anyway, so I used that to the best of my abilities and it just didn't work. The other thing I really wanted to show you guys was how I save photos when I do this. So a lot of times I don't actually take the pattern paper that it's been glued on off. I just trim it to where, because I'm not an adhesive, like I don't overglue anything, I just use a little bit of adhesive. So I find it easy to be able to just slip my scissors in and get them trimmed up to the way I want them to be. And so that's what I'm just showing you right now, is how I save my photos from becoming too brittle, and so this way now there's still some stability to them and they're not too wrinkled or anything like that. The second you try to take a picture off of something that it's been glued, if you haven't tried it already, if it's been glued for a long time, it becomes, you can wrinkle it, you can really damage your photo. So just be really careful if you do decide that you ever want to do it, because you can damage your photo. So anyway, it's just showing you that. Now what you're going to see me do is, the first step is I wanted to back these photos onto some white, because I wanted to put this onto some really pretty pattern paper. I'm going to go for more of a light tone layout compared to the way it was with the brighter color tones that I had chosen before, but I still wanted to be, I wanted my photos to stand out, so I'm just backing it on some white cardstock, and that's what you're seeing me do right now. And for some reason this part isn't sped up, so I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm still learning how to use my new photo editing that I found, so please bear with me while I try to get all the kinks worked out, because it could take a little bit of time before I get it all figured out. So like I said, these photos are about the house I grew up in when I was little, and the challenge over at the Victoria Marie Facebook group this weekend is to scrap a childhood memory. And so when I think of the word childhood, I think of this little blue house that I grew up in. And I only lived there until I was 8, so it's not like I actually grew up there my whole life or anything. We moved when I was 8, and we didn't move very far, we just moved up the hill. But when I think of childhood and all those really fond memories and things, I for some reason always think of this blue house, so I really wanted to get that scrapped. And I had already stamped on one of the photos, and it basically what it says, where it is, and I say the little blue house on Goten Road in the city, and that's all that stamp is. So if you, I know it's really hard to see, I need to zoom in as well, but that's what that's about. And I'm backing it on my leftover scrap that I had from when I was doing my layout about my bump with Jackson. And this is a Bo Bunny, and it's called the Bump Collection. And it's just this really light floral, and it's white and almost a cream color. It's so pretty. I know it's really hard to see, but it is very pretty. Maybe one of my favorite pattern papers I've seen in a long time. I think it's an older collection, but I've just started digging into it, so for me it's new to me, right, because I haven't used it yet. So I'm just going to get these down, and then I'm going to place it onto my main piece of background paper, which is an Amy Tan stitch collection. And I wanted to keep the branding strips, so you're just going to see me trim off a little bit, and then I'll get on to the rest of my layout. Okay, so now that I have that all taken care of, I decide that I still want it to be a little bit a little bit more white. Part of it was I wanted the white. The other part of it is honestly, I went to line up this the Bo Bunny paper and it wasn't quite 12 by 12, so I needed the white to help stretch it across the page. So little secrets and tricks that we use to make our layouts look more complete, right? So that's that. And while I was lining that up, I realized that I wanted the middle photo to have more of a focus on it. So I just grabbed this piece of brown paper bag that I had and I tore off a little bit to help highlight the photo. But because it's really soft and brown, I mean, it's crate colored, right? So it's not in your face, like, look at me picture, but it does help. Your eye goes to it because it looks different than the other two. And that's why I wanted to do that. So you're just seeing me do that there. And then I will magically appear with some stitching that I did. I stitched around the photos themselves and then the whole entire background as well. And then all of a sudden you're going to see there's a banner, a black banner, and the title and my journaling down because I don't know what happened. I was recording and then I went to upload all of this and they're missing. Like, I don't know what happened to that part of my video. So sorry about that. But all it is the banner is from a 6x6 pack from the Amy Tan Stitch, so same collection. I just cut it in half and then fishtailed one of the ends. So there's that. And then the title of the layout is called This Old House. I thought it was a good title considering it is an old house and it's the first house I grew up in and all of that. And the journaling just says basically what I told you at the beginning, how I may have only lived there for 8 years, but when I think of the word childhood, this is the house where my memories come from. Basically is what the journaling says. I do plan on having a lot more journaling talking about the stories that are included in the house, like how I wrote, first time I rode my bike and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't want to clutter up my layout, so I'm going to simply write a blog post and then just print that blog post off, and I'm going to slip it in between this and whatever this layout's backed from, so I can pull it out when I want to read the journaling. And I know it's there, so that's all that matters. So for embellishments, I kept it pretty simple. I did add some gold because I'm obsessed with gold still, and every layout I have has gold. So the top cluster is just 4 little pieces. 3 of them are just some ephemera, like cardstock ephemera with the gold heart. At the bottom I add that bike. I added that bike because it was the first place I ever learned to ride a bike, so to me it was significant. And I also add the little hashtag love. I put that right in between the 2 wheels, and I thought that just kind of helped have another layer there. And then my third one is what you're seeing me work on right now, and it's a house paper clip along with just a little date like sticker that I use. I don't use it for the date, but that's what it's for. And at the end, I finally just trim off that little geotag circle you see to the right. I'm going to trim that. The first piece of that goes to, it says favorite place, and I place that right next to my title. And then I trim the geotag and I staple it to right next to the house to help kind of tie that all in. So I'll just show you that there. I will have close-ups for the layout, and that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Okay,